Morena, and welcome to the New Zealand 2022 International. We're brought to you today by Weightlifting New Zealand, and you're here with Megan Signal and Cam McTaggart. Morning, Cam.
Good morning.
So today we have a mixed session kicking off the day. So at 10 a.m. we're waiting for presentation, which will be for the women's 76 weight class, 87s and 87 plus. We have 9 lifters to take the stage today, and today is a big day for a lot of these lifters. We're looking to see some Commonwealth Games qualification numbers go up. That'll put these girls on the ranking list for the Commonwealth Games pending selection. So it should be an exciting session. Hey, Cam.
Definitely. It's going to be a really good competition across all of the weight classes. Some really close lifts. As you can see by the start list, there's a lot of bunching around, so expect to see some great competition.
Definitely, and those battles are definitely going to be tight today, which makes for a good watch. We're going to be talking you through what's happening throughout the sessions in terms of what these girls are hitting, any records that they're going for. For those of you watching for the first time, we'll try and give you a little bit of an insight as to how the competition will actually work. We're also looking forward to seeing some of these girls take the stage for an international for the very first time. So I was just speaking to some of them out the back, and there are some nerves out there. There are also some seasoned lifters who are really excited and frothing, I think, to just get onto the platform today. So we're just seeing the girls lining up. They are about to take the platform for presentation. We will introduce each lifter for you.
Good morning, everyone. We'd like to welcome the athletes to the platform, please, for session 3. I'd like to introduce the athletes to session 3, and we have
So our first athlete for the 76ers is Renee Gaspar, representing New Zealand. Medea Jones, also representing New Zealand.
Next, we have
Samantha Hanson, also representing New Zealand. And our last lifter for the 76ers is Holly Drain. And our 87th student we have Hannah Andrews Nahu.
Next, Hayley Whiting.
Both competing for Commonwealth Games spots. And 87 plus we have Manaya Summery. Ramsey Edwards representing Niue today. And Manina Lynch representing the Cook Islands.
Right, athletes, if you'd like to go to the warm-up area, competition will start in 10 minutes.
So athletes are just heading off into the warm-up area. They will begin their warm-up for the session. We're very privileged today to have Manene, who's come over from Rarotonga, and Ramsey, who trains here in New Zealand but is representing Niue. The rest of our lifters are from New Zealand, but it's good to have some international lifters up there as well for the first time. And Ken, this is our first international hosted in New Zealand, am I correct?
It is, yeah.
It's pretty exciting in itself.
It's very exciting. Yeah, first international for a very, very long time. It's good to see some lifters from outside of New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely. And just to give everyone some insight, this international has been put on specifically for Commonwealth Games qualification, and also to give our up-and-coming lifters an opportunity to lift at an event of this calibre. This wasn't always in the calendar, but obviously with the restrictions that we've had in travel, we're very lucky that we were able to host something here to give our lifters their best shot.
Yeah, so for quite a few of the lifters, this is all or nothing competition in terms of qualifying for the Commonwealth Games. So we're expecting to see some people opening very heavy and really sending it today.
Yeah, and I think that's just a continuation of what we saw yesterday, right? Like yesterday there was a lot of reds on the board, a lot of missed lifts, and that's just something that we tend to see in these sort of do or die type competitions where lifters are having to open on heavier lifts, give themselves opportunities for these spots on these teams. So it does make for an exciting watch.
Absolutely. It's been a very long time since I've been this excited to watch a competition.
I'm actually nervous. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm nervous. I'll try not to show that across the commentary. I imagine there are some nervous coaches out the back there also.
Absolutely, yeah. I've always said it's more nerve-wracking coaching than it is actually competing, because at least when you're competing, you're in control of what you're doing. It's quite tough being in control of someone else and making all the decisions for them. It's easy when you just have to go out on the platform and lift the weight.
I would completely agree. I've actually said this for a long time. I feel sorry for our coaches sometimes, because we get to do our thing and have some fun and put it all out there, and they're running back and forward from the screens trying to make sure that we're warmed up at the right time and we have the right numbers on the board, doing all the math. So shout out to our coaches out there who are on day 2 today of looking after these athletes.
It's no coincidence that Richie went bald as soon as he started coaching me.
Any opportunity to bring up that hair loss, Cam? So Cam and I both lifted yesterday. Cam, how's the body feeling today?
Not too bad, actually. I mean, missed all my snatches, so at least I didn't have that extra load there.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you did, we all have to do it. We all have to do it at some point. It's part of the game.
I just got all my missed lifts for the year out in February, so the rest of the year should be good.
Can't wait to see your 6 from 6s for the remainder of the year.
Exactly.
So we have Kaina Andrews-Nahu on the screen right now. Kaina, this is her first international since the Tokyo Olympics last year. So really looking forward to seeing her lift. I was just talking to her earlier. She's feeling like she's in great shape. She's smiling. So we'll see some magic on the platform, I think, today.
Absolutely. It'll be a really good competition between her and Hayley in the 87 kilo class. They've both been training extremely hard in the lead up to this competition.
Yeah, that is the battle I think a lot of people will be watching today. And both these girls are incredible lifters, incredible human beings, and they really do shine on the platform. So regardless of what happens today, we're going to see some magic in the 87s.
Definitely. The 76s is looking really stacked as well. A lot of lifters opening very close to each other. A couple on 80, one at 81, and Holly Drain at 75.
It is going to be a close start for those snatches, and as we know, like a lot can happen in those 3 lifts for each lifter, but it does make the competition start off with some fire, having everyone so close. I know for Renee and Medea, this is their first international competition, so it's exciting to see new lifters pulling on the New Zealand suit for the first time.
It is so special to wear that fern out on your first international.
What was your first international, Cam?
Samoa in the Oceania Championships in 2013.
Ooh. Seasoned,
yeah.
Experienced,
there we go.
Hayley Whiting on your screen now. Looking very relaxed, very focused. In this time, just to give everyone just a little bit of an insight as to what we are seeing them do out the back is some of them who are ready to come out onto the platform in 5 minutes' time will be like Ramsey here that we can see having weight on the bar. A lot of these lifters won't be coming on for another 20 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes, so they might just be doing some mobility, maybe moving the empty bar around, so looking very relaxed purely because they don't need to be doing anything just yet. It's all about timing.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're not lifting too heavy before the competition starts, because then you'll be putting a lot of load through your body.
Yeah, and I think we've all experienced that before, where we've warmed up too early, done too many lifts before stepping out on the platform, and you only do that a few times before you figure out the best way to get yourself prepped for comp.
Definitely, and in a competition like this where there's so many lifters coming out at similar weights, it's quite hard for the coach to gauge that sort of timing, because all of these lifters have 3 changes. They can go up or come down, so you sort of have to guess what other people are doing off their warm-up, and gauge that as to where and the timing of your warm-up.
Absolutely. And again, shout out to the coaches, because that is just not something we have to worry about as athletes, thankfully.
Absolutely, yeah. Coaches put it on the bar, we lift it. We got the easy job.
Agreed. So just really quickly looking at 87 plus today, we've got Manaya, we've got Ramsey, and we've got Manene. Ramsey will be opening today, and Ramsey, lifting for Niue, has unfortunately suffered just a little injury. Well, actually not a little injury, an injury that has meant that she's had to reduce her numbers significantly. Ramsey is definitely out there today to make a total, have some fun and enjoy this international experience. I train alongside Ramsey, and I've seen her, she's had a few weeks off actually, not touching a barbell at all, and then came back in the last week to put some weight on the bar and put it overhead just in time to be able to put some numbers out on the platform today. So big shout out to Ramsey and her work. As we know, injury is definitely something that is just part of the game, and often it does happen at the worst times. So I know that this whole session, every single one of them would have experienced this in some form.
Definitely. All of these lifters are really pushing the limits. We're really looking at the best lifters in New Zealand at the moment. It's a really special opportunity to see all these guys really pushing it at this international event.
Yeah, and especially so early in the year. It's meant obviously through Christmas breaks and things like that, you really do have to give yourself that break, but knowing that as soon as the year starts, it's all on. And so credit to the lifters who have made it here today to make it out onto the platform for kicking off the year strong, to be able to be in this shape at the end of February.
Yeah. Unfortunately, weightlifting is not a seasonal sport. It's all year round. So these guys are really putting in the effort all through holidays. And we've seen that in the gym. We train with these guys, and they're really putting in the work while everyone else is having a little bit of time off. These guys are training really hard, even through lockdowns and everything. It's really awesome to see.
Absolutely. So we are in the final 60 seconds of our countdown before competitions start, which will see Ramsey Edwards coming out for her first snatch at 50 kilos. We may see these starting weights change, which will change the order of the lifters. The bar will ascend in order of the weight on the bar. So that is how you'll see the lifters come out. As that changes up or down, you'll see the lifters change. So for those of you who are watching for the first time, if that does seem a little confusing, just to give you some insight that that's what's happening. And often in competitions like this, you'll see the coaches play the board a little bit. So you'll see some changes in there that are potentially just to throw another lifter or give their lifter a little bit more time. So a lot of that strategy will be happening in the background.
Absolutely, it is. There's a lot like chess back there you'll see the change table. Every athlete gets 3 changes for each attempt. So they'll try and buy as much time or push some other lifters out according to what lifts they think they can do.
Here's Ramsey Edwards First lift on 50 kilos. And that is a beautiful opening lift for Rams.
Absolutely textbook there. That's a very, very solid opener.
Easy weight for Ramsey. So Ramsey's best snatch is 70 kilos, I believe. Let me just double check that. 70 kilos. So this is a light opener for Ramsey, but as I mentioned, injured her knee a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Megan saying earlier that she's had a few weeks off training, but really doesn't look like that on the platform.
Very strong. Yeah. Ramsey is only 15 years of age.
And a pretty big jump there, coming from 50 to 57 kilos. You don't see that too often, but of course she smoked that opener, so she's got the confidence to do a big jump there.
Thank you, Lotus. 57 kilos on the bar for Ramsey Edwards. Ramsey, your proper starter.
So as Ramsey is following herself, she'll get 2 minutes before she needs to complete this lift. She can run that clock down if she wants to give herself more rest, or she can come out earlier if she's ready. Ramsey Edwards coming out for her second attempt on the snatch at 57 kilos. And that is an easy power snatch for Rams at 57.
Extremely easy, showing that she's really, really recovered from that injury. Probably looking at another big jump for her third lift there.
Yeah, I definitely think if the confidence is there, the strength is obviously there, her coach Simon will put that weight up.
So when we say a power snatch, we don't mean that's just powerful. It means that she catched that lift above 90 degrees, which means she didn't even think that she needed to give herself the opportunity to jump under it. She had plenty of height on the bar, so she could catch it really, really high.
It's a great option for anyone who's suffering from knee injuries or issues, just not having to squat down, which Rams doesn't have the option to do right now, and it just shows how strong she is off the ground to be able to get that bar so high.
Absolutely, and once that knee heals, we'll see her lifting a lot more once she can give herself the time to drop under that lift. Amazing pull and amazing height on the barbell, so there's a lot more weight there once she's fully recovered from that unfortunate knee injury.
Ramsey coming out for her third and final snatch attempt on 62 kilos. And that is a very successful lift and a big smile from Ramsey. She'll be very happy to have put that weight overhead today.
Yeah, going 3 for 3 in the snatches gives you great confidence heading into the clean and jerks.
It's a great feeling.
And quite often with an injury, it gives you an opportunity to focus on other aspects of your lifting. that you haven't focused on in the past, and it looks like her overhead position is so solid. So probably looking at her coming back with this injury, probably even stronger than she was before.
I would 100% agree, Cam. So our next lifter looking to come out is Medea Jones on 80 kilos. This may change.
Another young lifter.
This is Medea's first international. And Medea has already qualified for Junior Worlds. She's still a junior. I think she's got one more year as a junior.
We've seen a change. Medea's gone up to 83. The bar will stay at 80 kilos, but Samantha Hansen will be coming out at 80 now.
Looks like we're expecting another change, and there it is. So Sam is going up to 82 kilos, which moves the opening to Holly Drain, who looks like she's ready to come out. So first lift for the 76ers is Holly Drain at 80 kilos. And that looks like a good lift.
A very solid opener there. You can see her spending a little bit of time in the bottom of the squat, just gauging that balance and coming up nice and strong.
And Holly is a seasoned lifter as well. And Cam, you've spent some time training with Holly over the years. She's had a little bit of a break.
She's had a little bit of a back injury that she's again taking the time to come back from and focus on some other aspects of her training.
Next we have Manaya on 80 kilos. Good save there. Just waiting for the white lights from the judges. We have 3 white lights. So good lift for Manaya's opening attempt on 80 kilos. We're going to see the bar move up. So we've got some movement from the jury, which means that that may be overturned.
So in an international event, we have the referees who call the lift as they see it, but we also have a jury, and the jury have to have a unanimous decision in order to overturn a lift. We have 3 jury members at this competition today. We're just discussing with the referees at the moment.
Jury decision, that is a no lift.
That's been overturned, unfortunately. Seeing a little bit of movement in the elbows. So the call will go back to Manaya for her second attempt. Just needs to be a little bit more punchy with those elbows on this attempt.
We're just seeing the replay now, and I think it looks like it was potentially the right elbow, Cam, would you say?
Yeah, looked like a little bit of movement in that right elbow. She'll come out and make the correction on the second attempt. She had decided to go up to 81, even though that first lift was overturned. It will buy her a little bit more time and a little bit more rest for her second attempt. So the call is now on Renee in the 76 kilo class.
So we're just waiting to see if Renee will come out. Renee has actually gone up. So by moving up, the call comes back to Manaya. Manaya also going up. This moves the call to Sam Hansen.
a risky move for Minaya going up, but she'll clearly make the correction and come out nice and strong on this second attempt. However, the call now is on Samantha Hansen. She is coming out at 82 kilos.
And that looks like a good lift from Sam, just waiting for the referee's white lights, and she got all three, so that is a successful first lift. Good opener for Sam. Sam's best snatch is 86, so she's opening pretty heavy, pretty close to her competition best, which is always good to see.
Yeah, we'll be seeing a lot of that today. A lot of lifters opening very close to their max, really pushing the limits at this international event.
The call now moves to Manene from the Cook Islands. This will be her opening snatch on 82 kilos.
Wow, very powerful over there for Manini at 82 kilos.
Incredibly powerful, incredibly fast.
Weightlifting is all about being fast, but not rushed. That was a very, very solid, fast, explosive lift.
This is Manene's third international.
Definitely showing her experience on the international stage there. Very, very confident.
Speaking to her earlier, she mentioned that she hasn't lifted for a while and that her competition best was 68.85. So we're seeing some incredible numbers as openers up here for Manene. Big shout out to all her support back in the Cook Islands watching her today. We have Renee Basketball coming out on 83 kilos for her opening lift. Beautiful power snatch opener. So what's exciting about that, Cam, is Renee is actually a Masters athlete and has just broken the New Zealand, Oceania and Commonwealth Masters records.
Wow.
With her opening snatch.
With her opening snatch. So we'll look to see her extend those records even more.
We're going to see a lot of records broken by Renee today.
It's not often you see that.
The session goes well. Huge credit to Renee. She is not very experienced on the weightlifting platform, very experienced in the CrossFit world, and is competing at her first international today. She'll feel good after getting that first opening snatch on the board.
The DIA is going up. Can we please have 83 remain on the bar? This will bring Noah Summerall to the platform for her second attempt.
So Minaya is going to really be focusing on that right elbow on this lift. Make sure that she's fully locked out.
Looks like a much better lift than Minaya. 3 white lights.
Yeah, she's definitely made the correction there on that lift, and the risk of going up after a missed lift has really paid off there. So the calls come back to Holly Drain for her second attempt.
Thank you, Lotus. And let's on the bar. Holly, you're 1 minute.
Fine. Hi.
Unfortunately, there was just not quite enough height on that bar to make that a successful lift. However, Holly has a third attempt up her sleeve, so we will see her come out again and try and make that correction.
Yeah, just a little bit out front on that lift there, so she'll make the correction, give that bar a little bit more height, a bit more extension for that third attempt.
So Holly has 2 minutes. She will be following herself. Lifter to follow Holly at this stage will be Medea Jones, which will be opening snatch on 85, provided that doesn't go up. This will see all of our 76ers on the board for the snatches.
We have some movement from the loaders. Looks like we're heading up to 85 kilos. This will call out Medea for her first attempt. Holly deciding to go up by a kilo, buy herself some more time.
So if Medea makes this lift, this will put her in the lead for the women's 76ers and the snatches. Beautiful opening lift from Medea.
Very, very solid opener. It's always a good feeling when you get that first lift at a big competition. So she's on the board now. She can have a bit of fun and build from there.
So we see all 4 lifters of the 76ers on the board now.
It's only 5 kilos between them, so it's a very, very close competition.
We have Sam Hansen coming out for her second attempt on 85 kilos. This is 1 kilo off her competition best. We have 3 reds, unfortunately, for Sam on her second attempt. Even though she made that lift look relatively easy, there was a little bit of a wobble in the left elbow.
Yeah, so we're really looking for those elbows to stay extended through entire lift. Any break at the elbow will result in a no lift.
Given the tight competition, we may see Sam go up.
She's definitely got the power for that lift. Just a little bit stricter with that left elbow. But the call's now on Holly, also coming out at 85, looking to make that correction on her 84.
Time, height.
Close attempt there, but unfortunately still just a little bit out the front.
Was a much better attempt for Holly. So Holly still has a lift on the board, so she'll continue on to get a total with her clean and jerks, finishing off on 80 kilos for the women's 76ers. The call will now move back to Sam Hansen at 85 kilos. Sam looks like she's getting ready to come up. Something really cool to know about some of these lifters is they're doing section things off the competition floor as well, and Sam is currently studying early childhood whilst prepping for big comps like this, so credit to Sam. Third and final attempt on 85 kilos. And unfortunately, that is a no lift. Sam, however, does have a lift on the board at 82, which puts her in shot of a good finish.
And judging from the board here, she's got a strong clean and jerk, so she'll take that 82 and hopefully build in that clean and jerk portion of the competition.
Look forward to seeing that. Call is now back to Manini Lynch from the Cook Islands on 86 kilos. We saw an easy opener from Manini, so we're looking forward to see how this 86 looks. As expected, a very strong lift and 3 white lights. So we have call now on Medea Jones. As Renee has gone up. So the bar is loaded to 87 kilos for Medea Jones' second attempt. We may see this change. So Medea has gone up to 89, which now puts the call on the Naya for her third and final attempt at 87 kilos. Unfortunately, a no lift for Manaya.
However, she carries that 83 kilos through to the clean jerks.
Manaya's best snatch in competition is 89, so had she have made that lift, she would have been finishing very close to her best. However, as we said, she does have a lift on the board, which puts her in good stead for a solid total once she gets to move into the clean and jerks.
So, if successful, Renee will extend her Masters records. And after that solid first attempt at 83, we expect some very strong lifting here at 88 kilos.
So again, Renee's third weightlifting competition ever and her first international, already showing impressive athleticism on the platform today. Great save from Renee and 3 white lights, so the referees are happy with that. She's extended her Masters New Zealand, Oceania and Commonwealth record. Not only has she extended them, but she really blew those out of the park prior to this competition today. New Zealand Masters record was 59, Oceania 61 kilos, and Commonwealth 69. So
it's not often you see records broken by that much.
Put a lot of weight on those records.
Definitely. and showing her experience in competition from other sports. From her CrossFit background, she's showing confidence on the competition platform.
Absolutely.
Here we have Medea opening, coming for a second attempt at 89 kilos.
This is Medea's current best competition weight in the snatches.
So close there.
That was a really good attempt at a save. I actually thought she was going to have that.
Definitely. It's very hard to make these little corrections with 89 kilos above your head, and we saw a good attempt at saving it there.
It really is, and often when you're looking at the lift from the front, you can't see what the bar's doing. What we would have seen potentially from the side is that bar moving forward and back, and Medea trying to centre it. So credit to Medea for trying to make that correction whilst the weight was overhead. We do see her having a third attempt though, so we may see her lift the same weight, we may see her go up. Call now moves to Renee.
What we're looking for in weightlifting is a straight line with the bar, because the fastest way from point A to point B is a straight line, and we want to be as fast as possible. Unfortunately, that bar just swung forward slightly, so she'll be looking to make the bar come a little bit straighter in her third and final attempt.
And when the weight is as heavy as it is today for these ladies, the margin for error is very, very small.
You're really talking centimetres. It's 89 kilos is a lot of weight, and if that's even slightly forward, it's very hard to save it, but she's definitely got the strength there. She'll make the correction on this third and final attempt.
So Medea coming out for her third and final attempt at 89 kilos. This will equal her personal best on a competition floor. Wow.
Much better line with the bar on that. That
wasn't that beautiful to
solid.
watch?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful lift, Medea. She looks very happy with that.
Equaling the personal best at an international competition is a big achievement.
Really
you can
is.
see she's happy with that.
So the bar is now moving to 90 kilos.
This introduces another weight to the bar, so we have the red and the green plate. For a lot of lifters, this is a milestone, having two plates on the bar in competition.
Manene coming out for her third and final attempt on 90 kilos. And not quite there with the height on the bar, but a very good attempt.
She carries 86 kilos through to the clean and jerks.
And we've seen some exceptional lifting from Manene already, with only 3 lifts on the board. Yet to see her clean and jerks, which I'm excited to see. Huge amounts of power in this lifter.
Bar's now at 91 kilos. 91 kilos is for the first attempt of... Oh, there's been a change. The call now goes back on to Renee at 91 for her third and final attempt. This will extend her New Zealand, Oceania and Commonwealth records. Very, very close attempt there. Brought you just a little forward. But she still extended the record by more than 20 kilos. She carries that 88 through to the clean and jerks.
That was an incredible attempt, and something I have to share about Renee is that actually she has moved down weight classes for this competition today. So her previous competitions that she's done, which was North Islands last year and National Champs the year before, she was an 81. So we've seen some impressive lifting from Renee, having made a big weight cut. We see now Kana Andrews-Nahu coming out for her first attempt of 95 kilos. This is Kana's first international since the Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
Really solid opener there for Kana at 95 kilos.
Beautiful lift from Kana.
Kana and Haley left in the competition, both in the 87 kilo class. It's going to be a great battle between the two. The winner will most likely be heading to Birmingham, so it's a tough moment for the both of them.
Both of these athletes are seasoned and work really well under this kind of pressure. Haley coming out for her first attempt also at 95 kilos.
And a good save there from Haley. Oh, unfortunately no lift there.
So Haley has been given 2 reds. However, may have some movement
From the jury
from the
there.
jury, which may actually, yes, that's what we like to see. So that is a good lift from Haley for her opener at 95 kilos. The jury didn't see any.
Her elbows looked very solid there, just a little bit of movement in the shoulder, which can be quite deceiving for the referees from their angle. But it's a good thing about having a jury is they have another point of reference. So they have the power to overturn the referee's decisions. Both Kana and Haley have both been successful at 95 kilos. However, since Kana hits that 95 kilos first, she currently holds the lead in the snatches. But we still have 2 attempts each. So it's a very, very close competition there. There's been some change. So we'll be adding some weight to the bar.
So we've just had a pause in the competition, so the clock has been stopped. And we are not entirely sure as to why that's happened.
But I'm sure the lifters appreciate the pause in competition, buy them some more rest.
A little bit of rest is always something you're grateful for.
Definitely, definitely. Although you don't want too much rest. It's a fine balance of sitting around for too long.
So we have resumed competition. 96 kilos is on the bar. We
Calls on Haley, but
likely see this change. You see Haley on the screen now sitting down resting, and Kana standing ready to go, which would indicate that Kana is coming out for her lift. Her weight has just gone up to 98 kilos. Kana's best competition snatch is 101, so we're getting really close to those top end weights for both of these athletes.
Wow.
That
An extremely solid second attempt there
Best
from
lift.
Kana.
is... Apologise for Cam and I's silence. There's a lot of tension in the room
A lot of tension in the room.
at the moment, as both of these lifters are just
Phenomenal.
exceptional.
This is insane lifting, guys. Watching this is you're watching the best weightlifting competition we've seen in a very, very long time.
Hayley is coming out.
There's a lot on the line for these lifters.
98 kilos on the bar for Hayley. Hayley not having had as much international competition experience, but this woman has worked for the last year and we've seen incredible changes, and she is in fine form, so she is about to lift her second attempt, 98 kilos.
Not quite there at 98 kilos for Hayley.
But not a bad attempt, Cam, so
Really, really
given
close.
the stakes,
yeah.
you might see Hayley go up. That bar had the height, was just travelling backwards as she got it overhead. That's quite a tough thing to save.
Especially at these weights, you're close to 100 kilos overhead.
And that speed, that bar was moving.
Moving, yeah. The momentum on that
Absolutely
bar.
moving.
Yeah. Not quite in the right direction, so we'll like to see it moving a little bit straighter on her third and final attempt, but we all know that lift is there. She's clearly got the ability to lift that.
Absolutely does, and the mental strength too.
Yeah.
So, in competition, Hayley's best snatch is also 101. So, Kana's best competition lift is 101, 120. Hayley's is 101, 121. So, I don't think
It can't get
you
it.
can't get any tighter.
Yeah. So because Kana hit that 98 kilo lift first, she'll retain that lead unless Hayley decides to go 99. However, the competition is made in the clean and jerks.
Absolutely. And even with what we have on the board at the moment, anything can happen. This is Hayley Whiting's third and final attempt at 98 kilos.
Come on. Go. Heels. Come on.
Much better lift there from Hayley at 98 kilos.
That is a very successful lift with 3 white lights, and that will be a huge relief for Hayley.
Keeping that competition nice and close.
My heart's racing, Cam. That was a fiery lift from Hayley. Every kilo counts going into the clean and jerks. You never know what you're going to need to hit at the end to secure the winning total. So huge credit to Hayley for bringing that back. We now have
Triple
Kana.
digits on the bar.
100 kilos. This is 1 kilo off Kana's best competition lift. And 3 from 3. Woo! That is a great start to Kana's competition.
So
95, 98, and then 100 kilos on the bar to finish her snatches.
She carries 2 kilos on top of Hayley into the clean jerks, and every kilo counts. Currently, Kana's opening at 122 clean and jerk, and Hayley's at 113, but we definitely expect that to change.
So we'll have a 10-minute break, and then we'll rejoin you for the clean and jerks.
A very exciting snatch portion of that competition. Hopefully we can carry some of the momentum through to the clean and jerks.
I think the coolest thing to see here today, Cam, is the fact that every lifter in each of these weight classes has made a snatch.
Absolutely.
Which means every lifter gets to move on to their clean and jerks to secure a total for today.
Some really good consistency, actually, for an international competition. Those nerves definitely play a big part, but every lifter's showing some great determination on that competition platform.
It does. There'll definitely be some relieved teams and coaches out the back there.
Yeah. Relieved for 10 minutes and then stressing out for another hour.
So your clock in the bottom corner of your screen is counting down until when the competition will resume, where we will see our first lifter come out for their clean and jerks.
You can see the technical officials getting some bodybuilding in between sets. Alrighty, we have 70 kilos on the bar. 70 kilos is for the first attempt of Ramsey.
Solid power clean from Ramsey.
And a solid power jerk as well.
That's what we love to see to kick off the clean and jerks.
Just moving 70 kilos like it's an empty barbell. So much power there.
Very, very strong young athlete.
She's got a massive future in the sport.
She definitely does. Ramsey's best clean and jerk in competition is 90 kilos. And as we mentioned in the snatches, Ramsey has actually dislocated a kneecap a few weeks ago and has only been able to lift again going into this competition in the last week. So we're seeing not only incredible recovery from Ramsey, but huge amounts of mental strength.
And it's that mental resilience that's really going to help her in her weightlifting career. As we both know, it's not a smooth road to greatness, but showing that she can overcome these hurdles, and that's what really shows she's going to have a future in the sport.
She really is. Ramsey lifting for Niue today. Shout out to mum and sister back home who will be watching, probably quite nervous.
Probably more nervous than she is. She looks so confident and happy there.
I'd agree.
So she's made a 5 kilo jump to 75 kilos. Probably going to see another power here.
I'd say you're probably right, Cam.
Saving that knee, but also giving confidence.
Another beautiful lift from Ramsey Edwards for Niue. 75 kilos, and Ramsey has one more attempt in this competition.
If successful, she'll go 6 out of 6, which is the best you can do. I mean,
that's a very good day in the office.
It's an international competition, and going 6 out of 6 is phenomenal. See Coach Simon giving her a few little cues there.
Great power jerk form from Simon there out the back. See Olivia McFarlane also out the back with Ramsey as a training partner. They'll be giving Ramsey some good energy.
Definitely some great energy backstage there.
Olivia having lifted yesterday, breaking a heap of youth records. Having good energy out the back is definitely very important in these competitions. You want to be remaining positive.
Definitely. It's very easy to get in your own head, but it's good to have someone sitting back there giving you that confidence. She's had enough rest, and she's going to come out for her third and final attempt.
Here we go. So this is Ramsey's third and final on 80 kilos.
This will secure her at least the bronze. Possibly will move up.
Successful power clean from Ramsey. good fight to secure that jerk, but 3 red lights, and from what I could see, it was just a little bit of a press out on the right elbow. But wow, what a brave attempt from Ramsey in a successful competition with a total of 137.
With 1 week's training.
1 week's training. Exceptional young girl.
One to look out for in the future. So the bar is now at 92 kilos. 92 kilos is for the first attempt of Holly Rain. Let's get one on the board. Easy clean. Solid jerk.
Beautiful opener from Holly.
She's on the board now, so we expect to see some nice big jumps. She secured a total, and now she can go for what she wants, which is the medals.
It's the one, so the leading total in the women's 76s is currently at 172.
172 from Holly with an 80 snatch and a 92 clean and jerk.
Stop the clock. Holly's going up. Get 94, please. Service 94. Into low. There's 94 kilos on the bar, Holly. In 1 minute 15.
See, the coach is buying her a little bit of time with some small changes. Takes a little while to recover from some very, very heavy lifts. See Holly keeping calm, collected. I'm sure what's going on in her head is that she's just going to repeat what she just did. The key in weightlifting is to keep all of the lifts moving the same, from the empty barbell to your maximum lifts.
Holly is moving up, which we did expect to see. This now would bring out Medea Jones at 95 kilos for her first clean and jerk attempt.
Thank you, ladies. 95 kilos on the bar. Medea Jones, you've got 1 minute.
You see lots of changes out the back there. Keeping the officials working really, really hard.
Stop the clock. Medea once more. 95 remains on the bar.
So the call has moved back to Holly as Medea has moved up to 96.
And looks like Coach Richie Wong has also made a change.
So we're expecting to see the... And we have. So Medea... And again, just waiting to see this change happen. Moving the call back to Holly. And there it is. So 96 kilos on the bar for Holly Drain's second attempt in the clean and jerks. After having successfully hit 92, we definitely saw a lot more on the tape.
Another solid clean. And another solid jerk.
Beautiful lift from Holly. I'm happy with that. She has one more up her sleeve. That has moved the leading total up to 176. And the call is on Medea Jones for her first clean and jerk attempt at 97 kilos. A little bit of a struggle there at what we call the sticking point of the clean. So that's when the bar just doesn't continuously keep moving up. And that's quite a tough point to get out of. So if you do reach that sticking point.
Technically, it was a really, really good lift. Just needs a little bit more legs there.
Yeah.
Which,
wasn't it?
unfortunately, not the easiest fix right at the moment. That requires lots of squats and volume in preparation to the competition. But a little bit more energy will enable her to drive out of that clean.
That's right.
These lifters are opening really, really heavy, quite close to their personal best, because this competition really is all or nothing for them. Quite often you'll see lifters open around 90% of the lifts, and I think we are creeping up above that. So
yeah, so for Medea, this is only 3 kilos off her best competition lift, which is 100 kilos. So you're exactly right. This is a heavy opener for Medea.
We are at 97% of their best. That is incredible. Incredibly gutsy lifting. So we hope to see her drive out of that sticking point on her second attempt here at 97.
What would you be doing out the back at this point, Cam, going into your second attempt, needing a little more legs?
Amping yourself up, getting that motivation from your coach, finding that strength within to be able to really drive out of that clean.
This is Medea Jones' second attempt at 97 kilos. Medea will need to make this lift in order to secure a competition total. If she does, it will give her the lead in the women's 76s. And a successful clean from Medea. She's had to work for it. And unfortunately,
A little bit gassed after that clean there.
which is completely understandable, there was huge amounts of fight to get out of that clean. And you really do need it within you to be able to compose yourself and really go after that jerk. And credit to Medea for putting that much effort to get that clean up. Really hoping to see her go out the back, compose herself, find some newfound energy, and secure this lift to make a successful total in the competition.
She had some height on that bar, just needs to drop under it.
And there's a lot of pressure on this point of the competition for lifters who are on their last attempt. And I will just remind everyone, this is Medea's first international. And experience would, I guess, teach you ways to combat any emotions that are coming in, any fear that's coming in, or any disappointment perhaps that's coming in at this point. And that sometimes, experience really does help with that. But I do believe Medea has it in her to come out and secure this last lift. We'll just see how she composes herself and brings herself out onto the platform for her third and final attempt.
Definitely, she's a young lifter, and I'm sure she's got plenty more internationals to go ahead. So this sort of experience on the international stage, coping with that pressure, is going to be invaluable.
We have Medea coming out for her third and final attempt, and everybody wants to see her make this lift. This lift will secure a total in the New Zealand International. And unfortunately, the clean just wasn't there for Medea today. all credit to Medea for huge amounts of fight. Like we said before, that was 3 kilos off her best competition lift. So a huge, huge amount of guts, really, just to come out on that as an opener. And as we said, this is a high stakes competition, so that's just what we need to see. Knowing Medea's going to walk away from today with an experience that will make her stronger.
Definitely, definitely. We're moving into the triple digits now. To give you guys an idea of how much weight is on the bar, when you look at them lift this weight, you'll see the bar, which is solid steel, actually bend. So they're bending solid steel with 100 kilos. Thankfully though, these bars are made out of very high quality steel, so they will remain straight even after they've bent when the lifters lift it.
This is Manaya's first attempt for the clean and jerks at 100 kilos.
Let's go.
Clean.
That looks like a solid jerk to me. Waiting for the referee's call. And we have 3 white lights for Manaya's first attempt at 100 kilos. She will be happy to secure a total, which puts her now in the lead of the women's 87 plus at 183 kilos. The call is now on Manene from the Cook Islands, who has flown all the way over here for this particular international.
She's decided she wants a bit more weight, so the call is now on Holly Drain. Holly Drain is at 100 kilos.
We've seen 2 successful clean and jerks and 2 really great lifts, so we are looking to see a solid finish to the competition from Holly.
Wrong sport there, I believe that is powerlifting when you do a deadlift.
That is definitely something we all have experienced also. And
Myself yesterday.
I didn't want to say it, but sometimes this is something as small as just your timing being off and starting to pull the bar when you're not quite ready, and the smallest things can throw you with such a small margin for error that is not uncommon in this sport. We have now Renee Baskell coming out. Renee is looking to again set a new New Zealand, Oceania and Commonwealth record for Masters with her opening lift.
And the clean and jerk and the total.
Solid clean for Renee. And a good jerk from what we can see. The referees are happy. That is 3 white lights, and that gives Renee the lead at 189 kilos in this total. Also mentioning Renee has moved down weight classes for this particular event. This is a Commonwealth Games qualifier, and Renee's usual weight class of the 81s is not a weight class in the Commonwealth Games, so she's moved down to the 76s. So to see her doing so well after a weight cut just shows how much there is in this sport for Renee.
She's definitely put in the work. You can tell she's looking really lean and in amazing shape for this competition. She's put in the work, and it's great to see it working out for her. I think the fact she's broken the total record by almost 30 kilos, I think that's a record in itself.
Absolutely. I think you might be right. We have Manene coming in from the Cook Islands for her opening clean jerk on 105 kilos. Easy power clean. And a jerk from Manene. 2 white lights, that's all we need. That is a good lift. Successful clean for Manaya.
A little bit soft in the elbows there.
So we actually heard the down buzzer before Manaya had recovered her jerk, which just indicates that they saw that bend or press out in the elbow quite early in the lift. I think Manaya knew exactly what that was as well. The call is now on Renee Barstool for 105 kilos. This will be for her second attempt in a clean jerk and also extending her New Zealand, Oceania and Commonwealth Games total and clean and jerk records. Waiting for the referees. We had 2 red lights, which did see a little bit of it was very, very slight, but a little bit of a press out.
That's more of a timing issue than a strength issue. She's plenty strong enough, and she'll look to make that correction and finish up nice and strong. That CrossFit background is definitely helping her out here. She has decided to go up. Not too surprising, that clean looked extremely easy, and it seems to be quite an easy correction for her to make. Ball is now on Samantha Hansen.
This will be Sam's first clean and jerk attempt.
Again, these lifters are opening quite close to their personal best. But there's a lot on the line here. A lot of these lifters are looking to secure a spot at the 2022 Birmingham Commonwealth Games.
This is only 1 kilo off Sam's best clean and jerk in competition. It's a good clean from Sam. And a very solid jerk. That is an impressive opener for Samantha Hansen. 3 white lights. The judges are very happy with that.
I think her PB is a little bit higher now.
Yeah,
I'd say in
training she's probably been hitting some very good numbers in competition. Like we mentioned, her best is 106.
106, yeah.
So looking forward to see what Sam can put up.
For those watching, this is not a normal competition. This is something else. You guys are really lucky to be witnessing weightlifting history here.
Clean successful for Renee. Just waiting to see what the referees think of that jerk.
Unfortunately, no lift there. But she still adds 30 kilos plus to the Commonwealth records there.
Some incredible lifting from Renee today. She does have a total and still leads the women's 76s at 189 kilos. 107 is now on the bar for Samantha Hansen.
We do expect her to go up though. And she has. She's made the change. We see the load is moving.
This would bring out Manaya for her third and final clean and jerk attempt.
We're looking for her elbows to be nice and strong lift on this one. It's a little bit soft on 105, but she decided to go up.
If Manaya makes this lift, this will put her in the lead of the women's 87 plus, ahead of Manine's current total of 191. Good clean.
Oh, good elbows on that one, I think. See what the referees think.
Wow. Wow,
and 3 white lights.
That was some beautiful lifting for Manaya. So Manaya is currently
in the lead.
Now in the lead of the women's 87 plus. So she will just be sitting back and waiting to see what Manini does for her last 2 clean and jerk attempts.
Sometimes all you need is a little bit more weight, a little bit more pressure.
That was a very, very good lift to finish Manaya's competition. We now have 110 kilos on the bar. This brings out Manini for her second attempt. This will put her back in the lead of the women's 87 plus. Nice easy clean from Manini. Just waiting to see what the judges thought of that lift. And we have 2 white lights, which again is all we need.
It looks like there's some movement from the jury.
So just for anyone who's just tuning in, the jury here today has the ability to overturn a lift if they...
It's been overturned to a no lift there, unfortunately.
On the bar, this will bring Sam Hansen to the platform for his second attempt. Sam, you have 1 minute.
We're both lucky and unlucky in New Zealand to have some very, very strict judges. But that's what you need at an international competition.
Absolutely. We have Sam coming out for her second attempt of the clean and jerks at 110, which is 4 kilos off her best competition clean and jerk. 4 kilos over, I should say. So this is
competition PB.
This is a big competition PB, if successful. Not quite there on that clean. Something to note that's happening in the background today as well is these girls are not only competing against each other, but they are competing to put themselves onto the Commonwealth ranking list with all other lifters within their weight class in the Commonwealth. So in order to nab yourself a spot or an invitation to the Commonwealth Games, you have to rank top 8. So something you're not seeing in the background is the coaches being aware of what they need to total in order to get onto that list.
As if competing against the people here today wasn't enough, they have to compete against all people in the Commonwealth.
We say high stakes, we really mean high stakes. Manene's final lift at 110 kilos.
Solid clean.
Much
looked much better on that one.
Much better jerk, and we just wait to see what the referees think of that. We have 3
And
white
she moves
lights.
into the lead.
That puts her back into the lead and secures her the gold for the New Zealand International.
Representing the Cook Islands. Everyone back home is going to be very, very proud of her. Making that trip worth it.
I think so. It's been a great competition for both of the lifters who have travelled over. So the call now moves back to our women's 76 class. This is Samantha Hansen.
This is what she needs to get herself to Birmingham. She's added some weight to buy herself a little bit more time.
So for the women's 76, we know for sure that 8th ranked in the Commonwealth is 200, a 200 total around thereabouts. So Sam does need this lift in order to get herself into that top 8. And unfortunately, a really gutsy lift from Sam, having missed that clean at 110. She went for it anyway, and that's just the beauty of this sport. You do have to have some Hail Mary lifts sometimes.
Absolutely. She's a young lifter, so she'll take this and grow from it.
We've definitely seen Sam overcome a lot to get onto the platform at these internationals, so huge credit to Sam for her competition today.
So we just have the 2 lifters left in this competition, Kana and Haley, both in the 87 kilo class, battling it out for that spot. Good opener there from Kana at 116 kilos.
That puts Kana on the board with a total of 215 kilos. We're looking to potentially see some New Zealand records broken in this weight class, all things going well. Currently, the clean and jerk record is 121. And the total standard, which just means if 220 kilos as the total is broken today, that will be the new New Zealand record for the women's 87 class. This is Hayley Whiting coming out for her opening attempt on 1:16. Solid clean from Hayley. And good jerk. Celebrations is obviously very happy with that. Hayley has made some incredible changes to her clean and jerk and her strength over the last year, and seeing her open on 1:16 with so much ease is great for everyone to see. So we now have a very exciting battle between Hayley Whiting and Kana Andrews-Nahu.
So Hayley has closed the gap there. She's still just 1 kilo behind Kana. So it's a really, really close battle here. And this is where both coaches, Richie Patterson coaching Kana, and Ray, with the help of Tina, coaching Hayley, is where this chess match begins.
So Hayley has moved up to 120 kilos.
120.
Kana is coming out for 118 for a second attempt to the clean and jerks. This will give her an extra 3 kilos on that lead.
Easy clean.
Clean from Kana.
And a good jerk there too.
Beautiful lift from Kana.
Extending her lead by 3 kilos.
So that successful lift is 2 kilos off Kana's competition best. Her best in training is 124 kilos.
So Hayley needs 5 kilos on her 116 to take the lead, which means she'll have to go from 120 to 121, which will equal the New Zealand record.
It's a very exciting way to finish the session.
Stop the clock, and going up. Get 120.
This introduces another red plate to the bar, what weightlifters refer to as 2 slabs of beef.
I've never heard that term.
It's a milestone for a lot of lifters.
So we're going to see these last 3 lifts. There's a lot of high stakes on these last 3 lifts in this competition, as we see 2 incredible athletes battle for a Commonwealth Games spot.
Red is the best weight to see on the bar, but not on the scoreboard.
Boom, psh. Hayley Whiting with 120 kilos on the bar. Solid clean from Hayley. And a solid jerk.
So that ties them up at 218 kilos. However, since Kana hit that total first, she remains in the lead. But it looks like Hayley has a bit more in the tank there, so that last lift will be...
This is absolutely coming down to the wire.
Absolutely.
Hayley today is definitely going to be drawing some more energy from Frank and Meow supporting at home. She has one lift each, and so does Kana, so we're looking to see what they are going to be coming out on.
Looks like we're going to see some national records broken, just like Megan predicted.
So just to remind everyone, the New Zealand record for the clean and jerk is 121 kilos, and the total is 220. So we are very close to those numbers.
The total is held by Kana, but the clean and jerk is held by Hayley.
I believe the total is actually a standard.
Right. So the total technically isn't held by anyone just yet, but that's going to change today.
So Kana is coming out for her final lift of the competition.
This will be a clean and jerk and total record.
Also a personal best if successful.
Good clean there. We know she's got a strong jerk.
Kana looking to make a big statement with her last lift of the competition on 122 kilos. That's a personal best. That is also a New Zealand record for the senior women's 87 class. And that gives us a new record for the senior women's total as well.
So Hayley needs a big lift here in her last attempt. She'll need 124 kilos, if my maths is correct.
Your maths is better than mine, so I'm going to trust you, Cam. But as we saw in Hayley's last attempt...
125, sorry. My maths was wrong.
This is a big lift, and this is absolutely something that Hayley is capable of. We saw she had a lot left in the tank in her last attempt. If this lift is made, this will extend the New Zealand clean and jerk and total record. This will also be a personal best for Hayley, and this will put her in the Commonwealth Games ranking list ahead of Kana. That is a successful clean from Hayley. And a successful jerk by the looks.
And
Wait,
she's
see,
done
she's got
it.
3 white lights. And that
She's
gave
got her
me
ticket.
goosebumps in my whole body. I might cry. That is about as exciting competition as
You don't get any
You
better
see,
than that.
I have goosebumps all over my body. That was incredible lifting from both Kana and Hayley, and they fought so hard
Well
to give
deserved.
themselves
Extremely
that best
well
shot.
deserved.
And you can see on the screen here, those two lifters have huge amounts of respect for the work that was put in today. That puts Hayley on the Commonwealth Games ranking list. And I don't think there'll be anything that can stop her from going at this point.
No. She as far as it goes, I believe she's got her ticket. And we've seen in her training, we're a small community and we watch everything that they do. We know how hard she's worked for this, and it's extremely well deserved.
That was an emotional lift. I think everybody in the room felt that. We don't have spectators here today, but every official, every coach, every athlete felt the energy in the room as Hayley made that lift. That was 4 kilos over Hayley's best competition clean and jerk. So when it absolutely counted, she made it happen. What a fire session.
We are going to have the strongest Commonwealth team ever heading into Birmingham this year.
This is an exciting year for Weightlifting New Zealand. Every year just gets better and better. And on that note, first international being held in New Zealand, we just want to thank Surfing for their competition management system, which has been exceptional this weekend with one session still to go. Also want to thank Pub Charity for their funding in being able to put up the most impressive stage for these lifters today. And we lifted on it yesterday. It really was amazing to be lifting on this stage. So big thank you to our sponsors. Couldn't make this happen without you. Lots of emotion out the back. I'll be heading straight there after this. Give both of those girls, all of those.
Definitely. That was an amazing session.
Huge congratulations to every single one of our lifters today.
Amazing footage we're seeing out the back here.
I'm not talking because I don't want to cry.
Hard not to get emotional watching this.
I know you can't see Cam right now, everyone, but there are definitely tears in this man's eyes. Just for the whole session, this was everybody out there today was fighting a battle of their own, and it was an incredible session to commentate for.
A few sweaty eyes around.
I believe that there was actually Hayley saying hi to
Love you guys.
Frank
And Alex.
and all of us. Hopefully I got that right, Hayley. So the medal ceremony will kick off shortly. Just to remind everyone that there were New Zealand, Oceania and Commonwealth records broken in that session, which just goes to show how much the fire session that was and the calibre of the athletes that we have here today. It's a huge privilege to have these athletes on our competition stage. So we have 3 weight classes today that we'll be presenting medals for. Presented by Ray Everest, who was coaching 3 athletes, I believe, in that session.
In third place, Holly Brown. Holly had a total of 176 kilos. In second place, we have Sam
Amazing lifting today. 100 total and a record of breaking records by 30 kilos.
Impressive competition for Renee Basketball.
And in the competition of the day, in the 87 kilo category, in second place came Andrews Nafu with a total of 2 kilos.
Lifting from Kayla, she held the record for a
And
minute.
in first place,
Exceptional lifting.
1 kilo.
That is the best competition I've watched in a long time, and both of those girls fought to the death, and you can see just huge amounts of respect for each other's work today.
Absolutely.
And in the over 87 kilos, in third place we have Ramsey.
Great lifting from Ramsey today, recovering from a dislocated kneecap with just 1 week's training and some incredibly powerful lifts today.
And in first place.
And as we love to see, 3 nationalities on the podium today, representing strong Oceania countries.
All very young lifters with
Very
an incredible
young.
future in the sport.
All 3 of these athletes should be incredibly proud of themselves, representing their countries with huge amounts of pride.
And we still have 1 more session to go, believe it or not. I don't know how my nerves are going to handle that.
I need a rest.
I need a rest as well. Incredible lifting.
And that brings our 76s, 87s and 87 plus competition for females to an end. It's been a pleasure and incredibly stressful commentating this session today.
I'm going to go congratulate all these lifters on incredible performances. Thank you.